Good morning. It is Thursday, October 17th, and today is the memorial of St. Ignatius of Antioch. This is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio and the Ave Maria Radio app. I'm Matthew Handley. Coming up, we'll discuss animal rights and plants' rights. But first, your local weather and this news. Detroit Police Chief James White will be leaving the force. White was announced yesterday as the new CEO of the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network. He spoke last night at a District 6 charter-mandated meeting at Kingdom Apostolic Ministries and received a standing ovation. White thanked the community for allowing him to serve as chief for 3.5 years and called it one of the highlights of his career. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson has launched the Michigan Voting Dashboard. The online tool will allow people to access election data by county and jurisdiction and has a focus on absentee and early voting. She announced the dashboard in Detroit yesterday. Data includes the number of absentee ballots requested, how many have been returned and tabulated, and the number of early ballots cast. Information on individual voters will not be available to protect ballot secrecy. Genesee County officials say a woman and her son are facing charges after police found 13 dead dogs and 44 neglected dogs in their home. Patricia Stone and Kyle Stone are charged with cruelty to 25 or more animals, cruelty to animals and allowing them to suffer unnecessarily, and failure to dispose of a dead animal. Police say the Yorkies and Shih Tzus were stacked in cages in the home, and the conditions are unlivable. Officers found some of the dead dogs in the freezer and on the basement floor. A small section of 12 Mile Road in Southfield will be closed over the weekend. The highway between Lockdale and Duffy Streets will close on Saturday, but is expected to reopen on Monday. Officials say access to homes and businesses along that section of 12 Mile Road will be allowed. DTE energy crews are expected to complete underground electrical work. Officials say this section of road carries more than 23,000 vehicles daily. And I have an obituary to bring to your attention this morning. Father Francis Weingartz has passed away. He was the former pastor of St. Dorothy Parish in Center Line and St. Mary Parish in Port Huron. His former parishioners remember him for singing most of the Mass. He was a Southeast Michigan native, being born in Center Line in 1928 and was ordained in 1954. He was a priest for 70 years, making him one of the longest-serving priests in the Archdiocese of Detroit. His funeral was on October 10th at St. Augustine Parish in Richmond, and he was interred at St. Michael's Cemetery there. He was 96. Requiescat in pace. This is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio and the Ave Maria Radio app. Your local weather is coming up next. Now this.
The leading Catholic voices are on EWTN Radio.
When you are predictable in your authority, you will actually have to use that authority less. Consistent discipline leads to less constant discipline. The more you act when you need to act, the less you will have to act in the future with similar misbehavior.
The Doctor is in with Dr. Ray Garendi.
We have some patchy frost lingering around this morning in the Motor City, but it will warm up to about 60 with sunny skies today. Tonight will be clear with lows around 40. Tomorrow will be sunny with highs around 64. Saturday will be warmer with temperatures in the upper 60s and sunny skies. Sunday will be sunny with highs around 70. Right now in Detroit, it is 41 with fair skies, 35 in Walled Lake. This is Michigan Mornings. We have some patchy frost lingering around this morning in the Saginaw Valley, but it will warm up to about 63 with sunny skies today. Tonight will be clear with lows around 37. Tomorrow will be sunny with highs around 68. Saturday will be warmer with temperatures around 70 and sunny skies. On Sunday, it will be sunny with highs in the lower 70s. Right now in Saginaw, it is 32 with fair skies, 28 in Midland. This is Michigan Mornings. There's been a movement in recent years to grant rights to animals.
and to elevate their existence to the same level as humans. Recently, that has also started to include plants. Wes Smith joined Marcus Peter on Ave Maria in the afternoon to discuss the absurdity of this trend.
Yeah, there's a growing movement basically to depersonalize people and personalize aspects of nature, including geological features such as rivers, under the nature rights movement. In fact, the nature rights movement is really moving forward. 7 rivers have been granted rights as quasi-persons in the world. So have 2 glaciers. You find in the United Nations they're negotiating a environmental treaty, and nature rights is part of that negotiation.
Right.
So the idea that that this is it'll never happen here kind of thing, that kind of complacency just doesn't cut it, because it is happening, and it is happening now.
So we're looking at this willful anthropomorphization of that which is right now, as you're mentioning, ostensibly inanimate. But even if you're talking about plant beings that are plants, vegetative beings, and even animal beings, the fact of the matter is none of them are intellectual, rational beings, and therefore none of them possess the moral dignity, let alone the metaphysical, divine dignity of the image of God. You take that one step further and you realize what's also going on is a willful misanthropy, this hatred of the human person and this overt elevation and even worship of the natural order.
Yeah, that really is a disturbing fact of modern Western life, is the deep nihilism that is infecting a lot of, particularly among our elites, the thinking. There's even something called the human extinction movement, which is advocated from time to time in places like the New York Times or the Atlantic, in terms of articles. So the more bizarre, seemingly for, it seems to me, rational people things get, the more it seems to me that the elites in the West, the decadence, embraces it.
Right.
Ave Maria in the afternoon with Marcus Peter is on weekdays at 4 p.m. on Ave Maria Radio.
St. Augustine says, "Desire unceasingly that life of happiness which is nothing if not eternal, and ask it of him who alone is able to give it." That does it for this edition of Michigan Mornings on a Thursday. I'm Matthew Handley, and Lord willing, I will talk to you again tomorrow. Until then, goodbye.